Hey everybody, this is Matt Gary back here again with Gary'sGuides.com, and today I'm gonna walk you through the Haybot Wars in Conker's Bad Fur Day. So the first thing you'll need to do to start the Haybot Wars mission is to do the Marvin's Money mission, or basically getting that fat bitch off of Jack's back. That way you can use Jack and the woman he describes as a fat bitch to jump on top of the barn and open the barn doors below. After you open the barn doors, jump off the barn and go inside them. Once you go inside the barn doors, there will be a cutscene that ensues where Conker asks the jumping bales of hay whether or not there's actually something interesting inside the barn. If you remember, Jack promised that there would be something interesting inside the barn for Conker. Halfway through the cutscene, the door will lock behind Conker, and a pitchfork, paint can, and paintbrush will start talking about how Frankie the Pitchfork should beat Conker's ass. It takes a little bit of time, but the paintbrush and the paint can convince him to do it. When the cutscene ends, walk Conker over to Frankie the Pitchfork and another cutscene will begin. Frankie the Pitchfork will confront Conker and tell him that he's gonna give him a whooping. After the cutscene ends, lead Frankie the Pitchfork over to the bouncing hay bales and use him to destroy them. Once Frankie the Pitchfork kills all of the hay bales, a cutscene will ensue where the paint bucket and paintbrush tell him he should just go hang himself because he's terrible at kicking your ass. Of course, when Frankie tries to hang himself, he then learns that he doesn't actually have a neck, so he's just gonna hang there aimlessly forever. After the cutscene where Frankie realizes he can't actually hang himself, go to the far left corner of the barn and pull the lever that's there. This lever will release the king bee, who will fall out onto the ground outside of the barn and open up a door that you'll need to use to get back in to finish up the Haybot Wars. We'll worry about the king bee's quest later, that's for another video. When you leave the barn, yet another cutscene will occur where a gigantic bale of hay jumps down from the rafters. Thanks to his pitchfork nemesis hanging himself above, he now has nothing to fear by being on the floor jumping around. After that cutscene's over, take a right after you exit the barn. You'll run into the king bee scene. Again, just ignore it for now, we'll cover that in a later video. And jump up onto the bouncing block of wood. After you jump on the bouncing block of wood, jump into the hole in the side of the barn right above it and enter into the barn once again. Once you enter into the barn from this rooftop entrance, there's going to be a cutscene with some bats. The cutscene's not really that important at all, and honestly, you don't have to worry about the bats because you can just jump between the platforms. However, if you decide to walk the beams between the platforms, you'll have to press B to use Conker's flamethrower to torch the bats so that they don't knock you off the beams. After you successfully make your way across the platforms, you'll find a context-sensitive B button. When you press B on it, Conker will pull out a bunch of knives. What you then need to do is use those knives and throw them at Frankie the Pitchfork so that you can cut him down from the ceiling. After enough successful attempts at hitting Frankie the Pitchfork with your knives, another cutscene will happen and you'll successfully have cut Frankie down from the ceiling. Once that happens, jump down to the floor of the barn, where, yet again, another cutscene will happen, where Frankie tells you you're now his best friend, and you can use him to defeat the giant hay bale that's jumping around in the barn. Once you jump on Frankie's back, ride him over to the giant bale of hay and use him to stab it. You'll need to stab the bale of hay with Frankie 3 times, and the easiest way to do it is to wait for the bale of hay to slow down and kind of come to a stop, then get pretty close to it and attack with Frankie. After you successfully stab the hay bale with Frankie 3 times, the floor below you will collapse and you'll fall into the sewer system below. After you fall into the sewers, another cutscene will happen where you learn that the giant bale of hay is actually a hay robot, or a haybot. When the cutscene is over, hop on Frankie's back again and ride him behind one of the giant sewer pipes. Stay behind the pipes so that you can lure one of the giant missiles that the Haybot shoots over to the pipe, causing the pipe to explode and water to be pouring out from it. Once the pipe explodes, lead the giant Haybot over to it so that it can get electrocuted. The electrocution causes the Haybot to temporarily short circuit or freak out or whatever you want to call it, allowing you the opportunity to jump up and press that giant button on its back that says "Do not push." The way to hit that button on the back of the Haybot is to use Frankie the Pitchfork's jump by pressing A, and while in mid-air, press the B button when the light bulb pops up above Conker's head. You'll need to repeat this process 2 more times. After pressing that "Do not push" button 3 times, the Haybot will explode and you'll have yet another problem on your hands. After the Haybot explodes, another cutscene will happen where Frankie the Pitchfork has been broken in half, but no need to worry, Conker will put him back together again. What you need to worry about though is those sewer pipes that you just broke are now starting to flood sewage water into the room you're standing in. When the cutscene's over, you'll need to quickly swim over to where the exit signs are and go around the backside of that pipe. On the backside of the pipe, you'll find a ladder which you can climb up as Conker, and there will be a context-sensitive B button once you get to the top of the ladder. When you get on the context-sensitive B button, you'll pull out a bunch of knives again. Use those knives to cut down the electric wires that are hanging above and causing the water to be dangerous for Conker to swim in. After you've cut down the first 3 electric wires and the water is no longer dangerous, jump back in it and swim across to the other pipe which has a ladder so that you can climb up even farther. Once you get to the top of this ladder, there will be another context-sensitive button, and you'll need to cut down 3 more wires. Once you cut down those 3 wires, the danger is over, and all you need to do is swim over to the hole in the wall and exit the room. After you exit that room, you'll be in a room that just has a piece of chocolate and a lizard that has a stone tablet in his hand. Jump on the lizard's stone tablet and he'll catapult you up towards the ceiling. While in the air, use Conker's hovering move to hover over to the ledge on the left. Once there, you'll find another $100 cash for a job well done. That's about it for this one. If you have any questions, leave them below. If you want more Conker's Bad Fur Day walkthroughs or retro game guide walkthroughs in general, then make sure to subscribe. And if you really like us, consider donating to our Patreon account. It'll help make sure these guides continue far into the future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.